What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my Week 8 preview and picks. As always, hit that subscribe button down below to be entered into our giveaway at 500 subscribers. But in this video, I don't have Ty with me here, so it's going to be a quick one. Week 7 results. You can see I went 12-0. Ty went 11-1. And the first game of the week we picked on Friday night was the decider. Other than that, perfect for the week for both of us. On Saturday, we were 11-0, and you can't get much better than that. Moving to this week's games, Air Force, Navy. Air Force is a team that no one thought would be in this position right now at 6-0. And now they have Navy at home. It's always a tough game, these forces battling each other. But we are both going with Air Force here on the road. They're just going to keep on winning. The biggest game of the week is on at noon on Fox. Penn State, Ohio State. Coin flip for me here. But Penn State has struggled. They haven't won a matchup against Ohio State since 2016. And that's why I am taking Penn State here on the road. I think they have more consistency on offense than Ohio State has had. They've struggled at times against some teams that they shouldn't have struggled against. And same for Penn State, but they've found it quicker than Ohio State has. And this is first test for Penn State. And I think they're going to go in there and succeed and get that win on the road. Where Ty says Ohio State is going to win this one and move to 7-0. Then at 3:30, you on ESPN, you have Oklahoma State, West Virginia, battle in the Big 12. That it is impactful game for both of these teams. I'm going with West Virginia at home. I think the Mountaineers have played good football. They, lost last week on a Hail Mary, week 1, 2, that Penn State team I was just talking about. Other than that, West Virginia's been a very solid football team. That's why I'm taking them. And then Ty's going with Oklahoma State, and they have a good track record as well this year. Then on CBS, a big showdown in the SEC, and especially for the SEC standings, Tennessee, Alabama. I'm going with the Vols on the road, and that's because I believe in Joe Milton more than I believe in Jalen Milroe. Milton has a better supporting cast and finds different ways to win games, where Milroe, they've had to rely on him to win games. And I know this one is at home for Bama, but it doesn't matter in this one. I think Rocky Top is going to go on the road and get the win, where Ty has Bama taking the win. Low scoring affair in this one. Minnesota, Iowa, two teams that can't score. And I think the under is going to hit. I think this is going to be a 13-6 final. Iowa wins this one, and I'm sure Ty thinks the same way. But these Hawkeyes, they're probably going to go 11-1, get to the Big Ten championship, and either lose to Michigan, Ohio State, or Penn State by probably 30. But hey, some people are happy with that. Another important SEC game, South Carolina, big disappointment this year. Mizzou, shocking some people right now. Brady Cook has been taking over the college football world, and I think he does yet again in this one. Outplays Rattler to get the win at home, in which Ty thinks so as well. In a battle in the Pac-12, you have Washington State and Oregon. Washington State has struggled in the last few weeks. Oregon obviously suffering their first loss on the road to Washington last week. I think the Ducks respond well here. The 20-point spread shows that Vegas loves Oregon more than they love Washington State. I think I still would take the Washington State spread here, just because 20 points for a team that's shown that they are a very good football team, it's kind of tough to take. But Oregon, they're going to win this one outright. Moving to the nightcap, TCU, Kansas State, two teams that I thought we would both be ranked right now are a little bit better than they are, especially TCU. I'm going with the Wildcats here, same with Ty. We just think Will Howard is just going to be too much for TCU, as they struggle this year. The struggles continue. And a very important game for both of these teams here. Florida State has to keep that undefeated record and keep that top 4 ranking for the playoff. While Duke, hopefully they get Riley Leonard back. And if they get him back, then this game is going to be a lot closer than that 14-point spread, because we've seen Florida State struggle in games. And this is going to be one of those games where I believe they struggle, but they squeak one out. I'm going with the Duke spread here, but the money line, got to roll with the Seminoles. And then the matchup you've all been waiting for. Our Michigan Wolverines go on the road to face the Spartans. And, 24 points I don't think is going to be enough. I think this is going to be a 35-point victory, probably along the lines of 42-7, somewhere around there, 41-6. Michigan, they're going to take care of business here. Slow start in the first quarter, they always do. But then that second half is going to just be all gas, no brakes. And the Spartans are wearing black for a reason, attending their own funeral, because this one is just going to be a beatdown here. The Spartans, they do have this game to play for. This is their Super Bowl. And I've seen some comments where, the Spartans, this is their biggest rivalry. And I think that pisses them off a little more. because Michigan kind of treats this as the second rival, where obviously we have Ohio State. And, this game means so much for both of these teams still, regardless of all of that. But if you just look at these teams, no rivalry included, it's hard to not take Michigan here. At 8, you have Clemson and Miami, two teams fighting for a spot in the ACC championship. And whoever loses this one, more than likely, those dreams will be shattered. I'm going with the Hurricanes at home here. They have to rebound sometime soon. After the knee, the season has just tanked. And, not taking that knee was just a nail in the coffin, it seemed like at that point. But now this is their prove it game to me. I'm going with the Hurricanes at home. I think they do prove it that they are a good football team as they get to 5-2. Where Ty's going with Cade Klubnik and the Tigers, they, are slowly floating around here. They can pull off this win. I see why he's going with them. Get to 5-2, probably jump back into the rankings and be one of those late surging teams at the end of the year. Then the last game we have for you, Utah, USC. Utah, if Cam Rising plays this one, I think they're going to go in there and get a win, but he's probably not going to play because no one really knows what's going on with him. So that leaves us with USC and Caleb Williams. And, last week was embarrassing. They got embarrassed by that Notre Dame defense, but I think they respond in this one. It's not the Notre Dame defense. Yes, Utah has has a good defense, but not as good as Notre Dame. And Caleb Williams, well, they need to keep this team in the college football playoff hunt. And to do so, you got to win and put up big numbers. I think that's what they do. So that's going to be it for our week 8 preview and picks. Check back next week to see how Ty and I did and to see Ty on the next episode. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.